My name is Dr. Tushar Mehta. I'm from Canada, and I did my residency there in family medicine. I've also practiced addictions medicine, and I've mostly practiced emergency medicine, or what you call A&E in some countries. I have an interest in international health, and I do work in India and a few other places. And on top of that, I have a strong interest in plant-based diet and health. So when I say plant-based diet and health, you can also say vegan diet and health. And I'm here on behalf of Hina Modi and plantshift.com. Let's talk a little bit about soy. What is soy and why are people so paranoid about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is there estrogen? Let's answer some questions here. Okay. So soy is basically a bean. It's a pulse. It's a lentil. It has a lot of the properties that other lentils do, but there's some special things about it. It has a certain kind of taste. It's higher in protein even than other lentils are. There's a little bit of a higher fat content in some varieties of soybeans, so they can get the oil from that and benefit there. It grows really well. Soy grows in such a way, compared to animal products, soy takes a lot less water and energy to grow, so it's a great way to grow lots of protein that is easier on the environment, okay, because it's taking less resources to do so. But what about it, okay? People say that there's isoflavones in there. So what's an isoflavone? There are isoflavones in soy. They are these sort of plant chemicals that they have many properties, but one of the properties is that it has a mild estrogen effect. Now, in a lot of cases, it has 1/300th of the effect of some estrogens. It has 1/1000th the effect of some other estrogens, but there's this tiny estrogen effect. As I mentioned in the previous studies, these soy has been proven to actually, or almost proven, to prevent breast cancer. And even in breast cancer survivors where you're worried about extra estrogen, it turns out that in studies done so far that there is reduced breast cancer recurrence in those consuming soy. Okay, in guys consuming soy, they have less prostate cancer. Again, these are the studies for breast and soy of people consuming larger amounts of soy. They're having 2, 3, 4 servings of soy. So it's not everything in moderation. It's actually people consuming a lot of soy. 4, 3, 4 servings of any kind of food is a lot to have in a day. All right. So that's how much soy that they're actually consuming, and that's what actually gives the benefit. Okay. So the other benefits of soy is that there's good evidence that it strengthens bones and causes less, and that people who eat a lot of soy during their lifetime have less broken bones in their older age, less hip and vertebral fractures. Very important, because those are terrible things to have, terrible diseases, these bone fractures, okay? But is there an estrogen effect? Okay, so they have, now I want you to look in the references that I provided, look in the description box, and you'll be able to download the references and scroll down to the section on soy safety. There are studies on soy in men showing that they don't have any feminizing effects on the men, no changes in libido, no changes in body mass index, no changes in their sperm counts. They've done tests, trials on women, like I said, breast cancer. They've done trials with children consuming soy, seeing if it has an effect on the puberty. So if there's soy, it would affect a boy. If there's estrogen affecting a boy, then it would change the puberty timing, but they find that there's no change in time on those consuming soy. And if it had more estrogen in it, it might bring the puberty of a girl to an earlier stage. But they find that those consuming soy have a slightly later puberty onset, probably because they're consuming less meat, and meat has a lot of estrogen, and we know that women and girls who are consuming more meat products have an earlier puberty. Now, why else is soy important? Now, we are also feeding over 7 billion people on the planet, okay? Plant-based agriculture, beans, lentils, soy foods, and all that kind of, and all those things can grow a lot more protein for a lot more people using far less land and far less water as compared to animal products. Okay, that's important for the worldwide. Okay, they're good for using in transitional foods. A lot of people coming off of a meat-based diet can have those like Tofurky or other brands of transitional foods that are like hot dogs and sausages and whatnot. Some of them are really fantastic. When I make them at a potluck, it's like the first thing to disappear. Before the chicken wings disappear, my stuff is gone. If you know how to make it, you can make it really tasty. They're super high in protein, more protein than animal-based foods, but less fat, less sodium, no animal protein, no animal fat, less cancer. They're shown to be better. Okay, so those are good things about soy as well. The protein content is great for a lot of people. Again, you don't have to eat soy, but there's so many other foods you can have: the beans, quinoa, lentils, and whole grains, and all that stuff that gives you what you need. But this is just an easy thing for me. I'm really, really, really busy, so I'll just have 2 or 3 glasses of soy milk per day just to top up, and it speeds things up for me. The other benefits of soy, as we mentioned already, the breast cancer, prostate cancer benefits, stronger bones, healthier heart. Okay, and soy milk also contains B12 when you buy it commercially, and that's a great thing to sort of get a little bit of extra B12 as well. All right, so those are good things about soy. Now, another thing that people worry about when it comes to soy is, is it bad for the environment? Are there ecological concerns? Well, the ecological concerns around soy are not based on human consumption of soy. Basically, 95% of all soy that is grown on the earth, maybe even more than that, is basically fed to animals. So it's fed to animals to grow the animals, giving them a abundant source of protein, and then you slaughter those animals and feed them back to humans. Okay, so we know it takes about anywhere from 4 to 20 kilograms, depending on the animal, depending on the style of production of that animal, to give them that much plant protein, and then to give you that much, 1 unit of plant protein back in the form of meat, dairy, or eggs. Okay, so anywhere from a 4-to-1 ratio or a 20-to-1 ratio, in that range. So you're losing a lot of protein. Now, when you're growing that much food to feed animals, to feed then back a smaller amount of food to humans, you're wasting a lot, and that's where all the deforestation and everything like that is caused by soy-based foods. It's basically feeding that to animals, but growing it to feed humans takes up a very small amount of land, because if we're directly consuming, then we don't need to use as much to grow as much. We're going to just directly consume it. We're not going to go through the animal. Okay. The other issues about ecology are GMO. All right. So people say, oh, if it's GMO, it must be terrible. It's got to be bad for your health. It's going to be evil. All the studies showing the anti-cancer benefits, stronger bones, less heart disease using soy, and the people consuming soy in the studies and looking at sperm counts, lean body mass, puberty, age, and all that kind of stuff, that's just research done on soy being consumed by humans that's from the regular market. This is just soy coming from the regular market. So that's all soy that throughout history has been, they've been using the standard pesticides on that food. And in the last 10, 20 years, it's all GMO. So it's the GMO soy that is still showing those benefits in humans. All right, now I'm not saying the GMO is good. All I'm just saying is that the research shows that the standard soy in the market shows these benefits. Maybe if it was organic soy, non-GMO, maybe there'd be greater benefits. It's possible. Okay, we haven't studied that, but it's possible. But we could see. But the regular soy does show benefit. Now, I'm not sure why there's a lot of that thing in society, but soy GMO is demonized like anything. But there's also GMO rice, GMO wheat, GMO tomatoes, and pretty much everything's GMO. All right, so why is the soy singled out and demonized so much when the other things are not? And I don't think that's a rational thing. It's not really based on any kind of research paper that anybody can ever show me. They rant about it, but nobody's then ever showed me a paper that's relevant about this issue. Okay, with GMOs, one of the major problems is if you have a GMO for pesticide resistance, like Roundup Ready soy or Roundup Ready anything, people then dump more pesticides onto the land, and that's bad for water, bad for humans, bad for animals. Okay. A lot of the soy that's available for human consumption, if you get like certain types of, most of the soy milks that are out there that I see on the market, and the brands, I also already mentioned Tofurky is a brand, I'm not getting paid, remember that, I'm just mentioning as a brand is that I consume, and it's organic, okay, so that's great, so we can consume less pesticides ourselves, and it's better for the environment. All right, so those are good things to do. So get the non-GMO, pesticide-free organic if you can. It's easy to find, and but the regular standard stuff in the market still shows the health benefits as compared to animal foods. Okay, remember, we're always comparing. The soy is shown to be beneficial compared to eating less soy, and in other cases compared to eating less animal foods. Okay, so that's it about soy. Let's talk about, so one more thing. Should somebody drink soy milk or almond milk? Remember, I think that, again, soy is easier on the environment. You know, animal agriculture is really tough on the environment. Almonds, maybe moderately tough, and soy and things like that take the least amount from the environment as compared to animal products. So, and they have the most protein. When somebody's drinking like milk, you know, almond milk doesn't really have any protein. Soy milk does have a lot of protein. And again, all the research showing the anti-cancer benefits and whatnot is shown on soy. So I'd go for that over almond milk or other kind of oat milk, rice milk. You can still drink the other stuff. It's no problem. There's no harm in it. Probably they have benefits too, but I think that right now the most benefit lies in this particular food is soy foods, okay? And I'm not saying that people should eat soy. Again, let me reiterate that. I'm not saying you should eat soy. I'm just saying it's a great option for a lot of things, but don't eat just one thing all the time. Eat a mix of things. Make sure you're getting all their beans, lentils, quinoa, whole grains, and get your protein and nutrients from a variety of sources. It's good for you. All right, so the references for every single video that I have are going to be downloadable from the description box, where you can click and download the entire set of references, and then just scroll down to the relevant references. If it's a video on diabetes or cancer or something like that, scroll down to the relevant section and take a look at the references that I'm speaking about. In my videos, I'll generally discuss one reference, but it's going to take too long to discuss 10 references and you'll be bored out of your mind. So I'll discuss one, and then you can go into the reference list and look at more references that are talking about the same topic. And it's important not just to have one reference, but to have multiple references that discuss a topic, because then you're seeing that different studies are being done in different places by different people, and they're getting similar results that are reinforcing each other. Okay, so that's another good thing to look at.